These are things that I know to be true. Years ago, I used to live in the state of California. And I had cousins out there. Well, let me put it this way. My mother had 4 sons. Her sister had 4 daughters. And we basically, well, from my teens on up until I got into my 20s, I decided to make a move at that time. But anywho, we had, it was alright, They was into that church stuff, and I wasn't having it. Well, I got kicked out of church because I asked too many questions. But anyway, going back to scriptures, let me see. My mom had 4 boys. Her sister had 4 girls. And the one that was the next to the eldest, the female meaning, her sister was the oldest, which was A. Her name is A. Well, I would call her A. And the next to the eldest was S. That's what I'm calling her. The letter. But let's get on into this here. But as we grew up, times passed. She went into the army or something, whatever. She got married, had a kid. They divorced, and I kind of figure out why they got divorced, because of the type of person that she was. She was one of them dang on sex demons. She tried to jump in the sack with me on one occasion. You know how you're in a car and and the driver is getting ready to run into something, or you think he is, or whatever, and you up there punching the brakes on your side, and you just a passenger. You ain't got nothing but a floorboard. God, dog. And you try to stop the situation. Well, I was trying to stop the situation that she wanted to go down. See, even though at that time I stopped going to church, and I wasn't no atheist, I still believed that there was something greater. It was just something I hadn't figured out at that time. But it stopped me cold. I'm up there on the floorboard punching hard. Oh, no. Ain't gonna be able to do that one. But climbed to the sack with me. I jumped up. Ooh, nope. Ain't gonna be able to do it. But anyway, long story short, years passed. And I thought she had got herself together. She had a kid, and she divorced this dude that she was married with and all. Anyway, we got into a conversation about kids. And out of the blue, I was saying, I'm not down with that so-called abortion, crap. And she said that she had several. I said, so you killed your own kids? And she goes, no, I had abortion. It's legal. No, that ain't what I'm saying. I said, but in the book it says you ain't supposed to do stuff like that. At that time, I wouldn't think it the way I'm thinking now, which I believe in scriptures wholeheartedly, 110%. I might not be one of the 144 that's gonna make it, but I got faith in the Most High. What do you say of a mustard seed? I sure do, and perhaps much more than that. But anyway, back to the story. She goes, "Yeah, I bought them because this, that, and the other," which basically she was saying it wasn't convenient for her, but she laid down and had somebody put a Teresa on her all the way up until her neck just because she was looking for pleasure. Now, how? I'm sitting up there thinking, well, wait a minute. Isn't that murder? No. She got irate. No, 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 no. Because this, that, and the clinic and the people in the you got excuses. That's what you're saying. So basically, you're suffering. You're suffering behind each and every one of those so-called abortions you had, which was just basically murdering your own kid. Now, she was wise enough or understanding enough, because I don't think she had any kind of wisdom. This was my first blood cousin. But at the time when she was jumping in the sack with me, I would say she was a dang on sex demon. And probably still is to this day. But ain't nobody gonna have her because she's the same age as me. Thing is, which is a flip of the script, me and her being about the same age, which is in our 50s, I have a better possibility at hooking up with somebody younger than myself than she would. She done hit the wall. She all broke down, cootie cat rolled out, and she done murdered all of those babies because it was convenient. Last time I saw her was she moved down to in the area in which I stay. It's about 400 miles away. It's a big state. But yeah. And she was still trying to convince herself of the same thing that I had alluded to many years before, that she had actually murdered her children, because it was convenient. Now, she done lay down with all these different men, had them shoot sperm inside of her body through a medical study, which I been researching for some time because I was curious. Well, I am still curious about it. How? Well, it goes in the scripture. Let me go to this right quick. That a man will leave his family and cleave on to his wife, and therefore she should do the same. Now, I might be out of line here or there. I'm not no scholar, and I choose not to be. When I study the scriptures, I want the true meaning of it. I don't need anybody to express to me what the true meaning of it, other than this young cat called, and he's got it down pat. Hopefully, from what I'm seeing, that he is pretty good. His name is G dash S in dash DASH, the prophet, the prophet. And a lot of things that he talk about, he's on YouTube, and a lot of things he talk about is which is in, which it is what I believe. I don't profess to be good on this YouTube thing. I'm trying to get it right, but I'm never going to be perfect because if I be perfect, I am being paid because somebody done wrote a script. I'm not doing this by script. I'm doing this by what I believe to be true. And I believe those kids that she so-called had abortion, each and every one of them to this day is wreaking havoc on her own mind. And these are the things that a lot of sisters back in the day wasn't thinking about. They were not thinking about that they would be tormented by their indiscretions. And so is she. The, good, really good. Just tripping.